Okay, so let's get started. Let me get closer here where I can see it better. It says, because we went through all the different ideas, or many different ideas what could be. Yevoyer Ata Inyan Tikun Shisha Malachin Demiso. So now we're going to talk about the Tikun. Shinisak Docha Bebechinas parts of Shal Shisha Kitzvos and Nikwa Zer Anpin. And what ultimately happens is in the formation of Zer Anpin. V'yivura v'kita chidas hatikun ku b'koach tipas that is tipas, shisha mitzvos kitzvos. Excuse me. That's just whereas where kita chidas hatikun ku b'koach from the koach of the tipas shisha kitzvos. So the tipas, there are drops from them. Sheyotze miyasod Erich Anpin hanikra anfo. So the basis, it comes out of Erich Anpin, and I'm not sure what he meant that they come the 6 kitzvos. I guess he means I thought it was one tipa, so he has it in plural. Where this ultimately comes from, though, is a yichud that takes place in the mouth of Erich Anpin. So lishin mamala ravavim. So now here it says the tongue winds up speaking big things. So here he switched to, it's one tipa. Over there it says, I thought he says tipas hashisha mitzvahs. Kitzvahs. Boy, I can't read. Tipas. So that's a plural, I think. V'chatipa yeredet the yisod Erich Anpin, mislavish b'yisod is abba v'iba, and goes from there into the yisod is down of abba v'iba, b'sachol b'lishin sasim Bain Yud K, which is a little bit a part of something we're saying, is that the tongue is closed up between these two letters, Yud and K, which is Abba Ve'ima. V'oz Yotzer HaBetipa Besod Zivug Yisod Erich Anpin Minei Ube. And then, how do they come out? How do they actually come out? They come up with the yichud between Erich Anpin and himself, between his male-female aspects, something like that. And then there's a yichud that takes place as, I guess, a result of that. Yichud of Abba Ve'ima. Maybe pasuk ze yomar. So we'll have to see. That's at the end of this, which I try to translate. I didn't do a good job, so we'll see how it actually is. The horror is the Zer Anpin. There's chaver bekoich Abba Ve'ima. They come about as a result of the energy that they get from Abba Ve'ima. Yisrael, we're talking about Yisrael, Mechachaza Olamala, so he brings in all of those ideas into this. Now, I guess that what I have to do is that this is not all that I know that we've been through it before, but that was a while back. That was in, let's see, I had 7th of Alvar. I can't read my writing, but it was way back when. Shita Nafkin, now we go like this. A Shita Nafkin, there's a lot of worthwhile beer here also. So let's see. Shita Nafkin, Shisha Kitzvos Shazer Anpin. Here we have 6 kitzvos Shazer Anpin. Yotzechem Edisaktim, Ma'anfa the Sharsha the Gufa. So he said, what is the anfa? Is a branch, the sharsha of its root, of the root of the body. Now, what does that mean? The koach yisod shal Erich Anpin. It comes out as a result of the koach of the yisod of Erich Anpin. Zalbshu anav shal shorish haguf the Erich Anpin, which is actually the yisod. What to say is an extension, like a branch. It comes out of the body of Erich Anpin. Bavar Ketzad Yotzim Lashisha Kitzvos. Now we're going to talk about other 6 kitzvos come out. Ayedech b'yisod the Erich Anpin. This is the way it starts. It starts there. In order to bring out this tipa. The tipa is really generated from the 6 kitzvos of their Anpin. Let me say, I think I read it wrong. The energy of the kippah, tipa shisha mitzvah, shisha kitzvah is the Zer Anpin. So this yichud takes place through the yisod, the elyon, shehu lashon the Erich Anpin. So he said the highest level of yisod, that he says the yisod, the elyon, the upper yisod, is the chech v'garon, is the tongue of Erich Anpin. Hanikra lishan mamal ravavim. So he says this word, this phrase, lashon medeberes gedolos. He says what if so this is the tongue that speaks. So when it speaks, there great things happen. Now, what does it mean? It's the lashon that is able to bring together the chech and the garon of Erich Anpin, mamshech tipas hachasadim and the chech v'tipas hagavuros min hagaron, and it causes these chasadim and the gavuros to come out, one for the chech, one for the garon. V'lechein nikva lashon medeberes. So therefore, it's called a tongue that speaks. Why? So and then wants to say ravavim. Okay, but let's say on medeberes. Zivug is also the sod of the lashon dibur. Okay, which is an interesting metaphor. I'm not sure exactly why. So he said another way. Well, he's saying because let's see that the tongue, which is the middle, the balancer, let's say medeberes, that's speaking. What is it? It's transmitting a yichud. Ki chazivug hu besod dibur. Then the tipa goes through as if it was possible to say, the spinal cord of the yisod until it reaches the sod, the Erich Anpin. He said the pagami yisod, the nikro loshon. So the sod is also called, let's remember the name, tongue. Ki kavem soim maskil l'malo b'loshon shebepeh l'mistayim l'mata b'yisod. So he says what? The origin of the tongue is of Erich Anpin is in the mouth, and it extends all the way down into the yisod of Erich Anpin. So he said, well, that's actually, you could lump it all together in the concept of the middle line. So it's a weighing, it's like the weighing, I guess the balance weighing that weighs the two times and balances them in the middle. And it says, well, wait a minute, this tongue, Ki lashon zechav shehu yisod Erich Anpin. Talk about that. And as through that tongue, that is the transmitter, because he's saying now it goes all the way down to the yisod of Erich Anpin. Sasim bein yud and k. It's hidden or closed up between these two letters. Whose sauce of the nignas, it's hidden bein abba ve'ima nikroim yud and k, between abba ve'ima who are called yud and k. Ki yisod Erich Anpin mislavish b'sok yisodus ava ve'ima. So it's actually clothed. Let me see. The words are Anpin mislavish b'toch, inside of the two yisodus of ava ve'ima. Now, how is that possible? I guess it's in the middle. It has little bits of both of them. I'm not sure. B'sod machriya bein ava ve'ima, and this is the secret of balancing them. Ki chetzi yisod, because the chetzi yisod, the yamini. That's right, the right side, the Erich Anpin, and also so the Abba is placed into the Yisod of Abba. Now I'm making it sound like it forks or it branches, but I think he Chetzi Yisod Yamina, I guess it just means that the right line blends in to the Yisod of Abba. The Chetzi Smoli, he said that when Nasa be Yisod, the Ima is placed in the Yisod of Ima. Nasa, it placed in there, it blends into the Yisod of Ima, so it's in both. And as a result of that, then the Yisod itself, by itself, once it says it's inside of these two, in other words, it's blended into them, it has a yichud by itself, amongst itself, Bina Ubei. V'hotze tipas shisha kitzvos to zer Anpin, and as a result of that yichud, while it is still inside of the yisodas of Abba Ve'ima as well, that yichud produces the tipa of the shisha kitzvos to zer Anpin. V'oznes davgu Abba Ve'ima, that causes a yichud to take place in Abba Ve'ima, nasan as a tipa the Ima, so and then Abba brings the tipa to Ima. That is this balancing tongue, shall Erich Anpin Asasa Maluva Be'aba Ve'ima. So he means to say really that it's inside of them, or they are outside of him, but at any rate, they both join together around that Yesod. He said, Ki Mazel shall dikna. Let's go back to the dikna. The Erich Anpin mislavish besoch Abba Ve'ima. So he said that is inside of Abba Ve'ima. That is the Mazel. Episode Das Elyon Hamiyached Abba Ve'ima, which the secret of the upper Das, which is the joint causes Abba Ve'ima to come into oneness. So here we have a picture where it's inside both of them. It has a yichud by itself, producing a seed, which causes the Abba Ve'ima to come together also and to make a yichud as well. V'hu b'sod lashon hamishkal hamaznaim. So this is the balancing aspect of the. I guess there's some kind of a middle balancer between on a balance scale. So this, again, the same word, this is the way that the tipa becomes balanced. And it comes out, it goes into Abba Ve'ima, and it makes the secret of a yichud there. So which is, now you see it's completely hidden because it's inside of Abba Ve'ima, and it's taking place in that, inside of that. And maybe right the shorish their Anpin b'kol b'chinosef heba b'chinas Yaakov. So now I'm going to bring an idea that the root of zer Anpin b'kol b'chinosef heba b'chinas Yaakov min ha'chazal l'mata v'heba b'chinas Yisrael min ha'chazal l'malam. Let me just get these words together because we know that Yisrael, the word Yisrael refers to the area above, and Yaakov is above and below the chazav. The Chazer, that is Yaakov and Yisrael. But let me see the sentence again. He says it may be right, brings a proof, the Shorsh Zer Anpin, B'chol B'chinoisev, Hein B'chinas Yaakov, whether we're talking about, I see, whether he's talking about Yaakov ben Chazer Lamata, Hein B'chinas Yisrael min Chazer Lamalo. So you're just looking at Zer Anpin, and you could say Zer Anpin is an upper part for the Chazer Lamala and a lower part, the Chazer Lamata. Kulam nischaver min zivug Abba Ve'ima ve'ivor rishon. So all of them have a yichud in Abba Ve'ima in the first gestation. So when you start to make the gestation of zer v'nug. Derchsiv kamosha kasav yisrael v'zecha yomer l'Hashem ani. So that's what it says. This is a hard part. He says I. Pirush, now let me read again. Zeh yomer laHashem ani. Pirush zer Anpin hanikra zeh. So zer Anpin, he says, is called zeh. I've seen Malchus called zos. Okay, zer Anpin, he says here is called zeh. Pirush zer Anpin hanikra zeh. Yomer laHashem, and he says to Hashem, ani, I. Kolom nishavisi min Abba Ve'ima. So he's saying, normally we're saying that Zer Anpin is Yud Kei Vav Kei. So over here in this metaphor, he's saying that the word Zer refers to Zer Anpin. And then he said, Yomer l'Chavaya, and he says the Chavaya, and he's going to say, who is Havaya? Kolomar, Nizhavisi min Abba Ve'ima, Haramazah b'midas l'Chavaya. So Zer says to Havaya, Ani. Now what's Ani mean? Ki Shem Havaya hu b'bechinas Abba v'oz lamed shal milas l'Havaya. Romez is a remez to Ima. Now that's not so easy to see, but that's what he says. V'zeh yikra b'shem Yaakov, and then this is called by the name Yaakov, which he said is what? For the cause of the malam. Zeh Zer Anpin Shamarno Yikra b'Shem Yaakov. So he says that will be called Yaakov. The Zeh part will be the Yaakov part, the part from the Chaz of the Mata. Ki b'chinas zu hi min Chaz of the Mata. So he says it. So he says V'zeh Yichtov Yadav l'Hashem. And this word he writes like this: his hand is to Yud Kei Vav Kei Pirush. This higher level is Zer Anpin, which is from the Chaz of the Mala. I don't know. Shehi Minachaz Lamala. Oh, he's saying it. Yichtov Yado of aromas. It says Yichtov Yado. They write the word Yado on Romas, the sod, Hamochen Nekracha B'Yad Koseves. Now, these are metaphors that I know we've learned this before, but I don't remember them. So he says again, Zer Anpin Shehi Minachaz Lamala. Yichtov Yadach Romez, it's called by the name, or written by the name Yado, his hand. The sod Hamochen Nikraim Yad Kosevis, and that the Mochen, this is a metaphor, Mochen, called the Yad Kosevis. Okay, we'll kind of stop here and try to finish it when we get back.